Hi guys, a very good afternoon to all of you. My name is Varsha and I welcome you all to this webinar today. Before we begin, just few points I would like to highlight. In case you're facing any problem with the audio or with the video, please let us know by typing in the chat box and we'll try and fix it for you. Also, the question and answer round will be attended towards the end of the session, but please feel free to type them in as well. So I have with me Ms. Meha Jayaswal. Meha currently leads fashion media communication course at Pearl Academy, but she comes with more than 20 years of experience in the industry and academics. And she has worked with some great brands like the Woolmark Company and the Lal Street Investment Journal. She successfully completed her postgraduate certificate in higher education from Nottingham Trent University, UK as a third topper, followed by an advanced fashion journalism course from London College of Fashion, UK again. So without any further ado, I would hand it over to Meha, who will now talk about fashion media communication course at Pearl Academy and the various career options available after that. Over to you, Meha.
Thank you so much, Varsha. Varsha, before I start, I wanted to ask you that are students interested only in undergraduate course or they are also interested in postgraduate program?
Well, yes, they would be, the students are from both the sides, undergraduate and postgraduate course.
Okay, so I'll cover both the courses here.
Great.
So, when we talk about fashion media communication, as the name suggests, it talks about how you communicate fashion through different media formats. So in as simple terms. So that means we teach them print media. So how you write fashion news, how you will edit, what kind of photographs you will use, how you shoot for fashion channels. So all the channels today have fashion and lifestyle programs. So, friends, if you aspire to be the editor of a fashion and lifestyle magazine or be a fashion critic, or if you want to take up a camera and microphone and capture the pulse of the fashion industry, then this is the place. So, if you are interested in the world of fashion through fashion media, advertising, fashion films, television production, then fashion media communication, BA honors, or the postgraduate diploma in fashion communication is the place where you will learn all the skills and the knowledge. So the kind of modules that we have here, we have fashion journalism, we'll have fashion event design, advertising, fashion photography, fashion films and television production, fashion PR. So these are the modules that we cover both at the undergraduate and the postgraduate level. But the only thing is that there is a difference in the pitch and the duration of the courses. One is a 4-year intensive design course. The another one is a 2-year postgraduate diploma. Where when it is a postgraduate course, we expect students to come with a basic background of at least understanding media. In the postgraduate course, we also have a 4-week advanced module study at Domus Academy, Milan. And whereas in the undergraduate course, we have 6 months of exchange relationship with some 45 institutes. So students have to give their proposal. They are selected by a panel and then you are selected to go to either Nottingham Trent or London College of Fashion or maybe FIDM in USA. So these are or Domus Academy also. So these are the places where students normally apply for exchange programs. And the pace at which the newspaper industry and the television industry are growing, every day we have demand for the people who can join them. Websites and blogs. So in last 2 years, we have gone up by more than 50%. Every day we have new blogs and new fashion portals and websites which are starting. And our students are they are already there in the industry. They have their own sites. They're also working for Vogue Online. They're working for Cosmopolitan's online news and also for the Cosmopolitan magazine. This is one of the works that student did while she was interning. Today this student is with Pop Expo and she is now applying for a master's degree to a university in UK. So when she was interning at the Wills India Fashion Week, which is now the Amazon India Fashion Week, She was an online jockey and she had to create buzz on social media with visual, what's happening at the event. She had to talk about the designer and cover all the events related to the Wills India Fashion Week. So from Twitter to Facebook to Instagram and Google Plus, all the platforms. So she used to tag designers and bloggers and interact through different contests. So just some of the screenshots of her works. So these were the visuals that she uploaded, and you have to write some content along with the Twitter and along with your Insta posts. So if you see, all the top designers were also following her on Twitter. So you had Rohit Gandhi and Rahul Khanna, and you had FDCA's official team. So look at the posts. I mean, she had followers from these places. Anupama Dayal was retweeting, Shivan and Naresh retweeted her, and Surindri retweeted. These are some big designers, Hemant and Nandita, Gauri and Nainika. There were some big designers. They retweeted her tweets. So, which is a big thing for an intern. She also did Insta coverage. So, of course, she had, and in fact, yeah, let me share this student. Her Instagram was the seventh most popular in India in 2014. It was covered by Homegrown magazine. So, these are some of the pictures and the videos that she did. Amazing work that she did at Wills India Fashion. So look at Pankaj and Nidhi. So they responded, love this shot from this angle, thank you. This is a response from designer. Okay. So now when we have these niche sectors coming up and you have channels like CNN and MTV and Cartoon Network also having fashion content. You understand the demand for fashion journalists and people who are producing fashion content has gone up. We have BBC Worldwide that has launched many entertainment channels here. You have Zoom, you have NDTV Good Times, MTV, Channel V, and mobile content of fashion TV. So fashion TV has now become very active here in Indian media space, and they also have mobile content which is going around. So graduates are required to handle this. Before we launched, some 5 years back, we were in touch with all the journalists of how they were trained and what they would like, to be taught to students or graduates who are joining them. So we had group fashion editor of the Hindustan Times, we had senior lifestyle editor of the Times of India, and we met them, and that's how the course was designed and conceptualized. And since then, every 3 years, so that means we have had 2 revisions already, we have been revising this course content. It is current. So every year, we have people coming to from the industry and sharing their expertise and their experience with students. They share with us what new is happening. And that doesn't take a while. It just gets included in the curriculum, in our teaching, in our everyday classroom. We had Varun Rana, fashion features editor of Harper's Bazaar. He comes and takes modules. He teaches here also. So this is how the fashion industry is now gearing up to have fashion promotion people around. So fashion communication is an extremely important pathway for them. All top agencies, the fashion PR agencies, they have different divisions. What they have done is earlier they just had one company and they had all kinds of brands. Now they have segregated fashion brands. So you have a division for fashion PR. So all the top agencies, whether it's Perfect Relations or PR Pandit or Text 100 or Hanma, they all have fashion PR divisions. And where all the designers are normally tagged or brands, they work with them. So with these entry of new brands, MS or Donna Karen or Diesel, this is what is required for the industry, that you need fashion communication professionals. So today our students are working for fashion event designers, magazines, television channels, newspapers, PR agencies, digital media. So as I said even earlier, they are working for Vogue, they are working for GQ, they are working for the Hindu newspaper, they are working for big PR agencies like Perfect Relations, and where you have uh, the Green Goose Communication Council. We have fashion event designers. Why do you need event designers and not just event managers? What happens is event management is all about budgeting and vendor management and supply chain. But when it comes to event design, a fashion communication professional is expected to design the entire look and feel of that event. So you conceptualize the ambience, the music that will go, the lighting that will be, the upholstery that will be there. So everything is based on the event design. How installations would look like or where will they be. But an event manager will be dealing with the budgets and the vendors and the carpenters and people who are going to be dealing with the construction of that event. Okay, Varsha, maybe I would like to stop here and check if they have any questions which I can answer.
Sure, let's just check that. So in case you have any questions, attendees, please feel free to share some at this point in time. So currently I don't see any questions, Meha, but as we said earlier, maybe if in case there are any questions, we'll address them towards the end of the session altogether.
Okay.
Yeah, so let's proceed.
All right. So these are just some of the works that I would like to share. So Siddhali Doshi is our graduate. Then this is the photographer. You can see Tarun Khiwal. He is critiquing students' work. And then we have sports photographer. He came here for some sessions with students. These are just some of the students' work. Students have to style and they have to shoot. Okay, there are some videos also, but I think it will be too heavy right now to run on the net. So let it be.
Okay.
And but if interested students want to see some students' work, you can mail them.
Sure.
Okay, so thank you so much. If you have any questions, we are here.
Sure. In fact, Neha, I would like to take few questions on behalf of students because these are some frequently asked questions we get from the interested candidates for this course. Uh, so what usually happens, they really like to know as to how much of fashion would they be studying? Would they be involved in fashion design modules? Would there be something related to product categories that will be taught to them? Or is it only media, journalism, editing part which is being taught in this course?
You know, Varsha, they cannot, if we teach them just a media input, or if we just give them media and communication inputs, then it's a mass comm course. No. So here, the base is fashion and everything is built on that. So you're taught fashion from a fashion designer's perspective. So you're taken to the entire module there, where all the fashion culture, the decades in fact, in fashion history, and then they will do markets and categories in fashion. Trend forecast is very big. So how do you study trends? How do you interpret those trends and put them to your writing? Unless you study fashion design basic modules, you will not be able to do the course. You will not be able to apply media on top of it. So we take them through you also have illustration, by the way. We teach them fashion illustration also, because it's important as an editor which illustration would be good to go with my article and which is not so good, which is appropriate, relevant, how do I select. So that is why you need, so it's a basic module, but then you need that to understand what is good or bad.
Okay. And also, Meha, if I may ask, during their tenure of 4 years while they pursue the UG course, or maybe 2 years when they're pursuing the PG course, can they choose? Is there an option given to them where they can pick and choose some particular module from any other course at Pearl Academy? For example, luxury retail. They want to study how luxury is really selling in India, and we do have courses related to that. So can they get into those classes and study about them?
Yes, in the BA honors course, we have electives. So what happens is when students come to level 3, that is a time when we give them freedom to go to any other department and study a module of their choice. So students could go to luxury brands, they could go to fashion design department also and study a module maybe in draping or pattern making, or maybe go to luxury brands and understand how the retail framework works for the luxury sector. They could also go to communication design department and do some higher module on graphic design. Although we teach them typography and graphic design because that is really required in print media. But if they want to study at a higher level, advanced graphics design, then they must go to communication designs to course and study an advanced module through elective.
Okay, great. This course does sound a lot creative, and it really meets the need of today's industry requirements, it looks like. Another question that we usually get from students, Meha, is when they graduate from this course, first, what are the kind of job roles they can expect an employer to offer, maybe to a UG student or to PG as well, and the kind of remuneration one can expect. So what is it that they're really settling in for when they start their education?
Okay. Varsha, one thing is for sure, when your students should be aware that when they graduate, they get interesting designations. They get a designation of maybe a fashion reporter or a fashion content writer, or it could be a fashion coordinator. These are some designations that they normally get. But what happens is that the first level of work is that you need to maybe do layouts of some pages and just do content writing for small capsules. And once you prove yourself, then it is then you are taken to higher levels, because unless you show them how you work, how you select your images, what how committed you are and how committed you are to deadlines. Remember one thing, it's not 100% just your knowledge and skills that works. It is maybe 40% of your knowledge and skills, but 60% is primarily your attitude to work, your commitment and your sincerity to work, and how innovative you are at dealing with day-to-day work. So this is what takes you ahead.
Okay. And how different is the internship in that case? So what is it that they really learn in the internship? And also, could you name few of the organizations where our students have been interning under this course?
Yes, currently students are interning for Vogue Online, for GQ, for Condé Nast Traveler. Then students are interning for the Viral Fever Company. Have you heard of this? The Viral Fever Company.
Yeah.
Maybe you can do a Google check on the Viral Fever Company. They are doing some very interesting digital stuff, and especially videos. They're a lot into this videos, and very interesting stuff is happening on that site. So just check out. So our students are working for these places. They're also, yes, and not to forget Harper's Bazaar, so Cosmopolitan, the Hindu newspaper, which I already said. So students have different aspirations if they want, also NDTV. So when they want to get into broadcast, they go to Balaji Telefilms, Yashraj Films. So students, when they want to get into broadcast and they want to get into production, we send them to production houses. And when they're interested for print media, we of course we help them to get internships for print media houses. And when they are interested for digital, we send them to Vogue Online, or working for a Cosmos online blog, or working for the Viral Fever Company, and so on and so forth.
Okay, great. Meha, one question out of curiosity that I would like to ask. So there are high-end fashion brands like Hermes and Louis Vuitton, and then there's fast-moving fashion brands like Mango and Zara. So how do and there's plethora of mediums available to them right now, where and they can pick and choose which particular medium to use for their advantage. But the high-end fashion brands are also not very exclusive now. Even they've been going mass when it comes to advertising themselves. So is it a shift in the way these brands have been advertising, or is it again the need of the hour to because the disposable income is increased? A young kid just out of college can also afford an LV now, and hence they are getting onto the mass platforms as well to promote themselves. Would you say so?
Okay, there's a shift both ways. One, as you say, we've been hearing for 5, 10 years that, oh, India is such a lucrative market, and we have this base of, and everybody talks about this 1.2 billion population. So India is a lucrative market, of course. Now people are getting, they have this disposable income which is rising, and they have aspirations. So what happens is when these and our just like our students go abroad, there are so many of these youngsters who have this international exposure. So they're exposed to brands. So when they come back, they of course are looking at same kind of brands here in India, and that is why brands are also reaching out to. these new customers, new aspirants to say. What is happening is in advertising, currently you do not have concept selling here in India, and neither we have a space which is only meant for the luxury communication. Okay, so of course, luxury brands are also still found in the same magazine as high street brands. But yeah, there's a lot of money which they are splurging in India, and that is why print media is growing. So, and that is why you should be part of fashion communication.
Absolutely, Meha. Just one last question I would like to ask here. For the entrance exam, so now our next cycle, the next entrance exam will happen in April, but there would be students who would be preparing for it, right? So is there an advice that you would like to give out to these students, or do we need them to come with special skill set when we recruit them for the course?
Okay, first thing, don't lie and don't hype of what you're doing. Remember one thing, we are teachers here. We will train you. It's a job. But if when you lie, you lose out on the first phase, and we can catch that. So what is important for you is to speak the truth. Whatever you know about fashion, share that with us. Whatever you know about the fashion media, share that with us. And for God's sake, please go out of the new designers that you know of, talk about them. The most of the times the only designer that we hear is Manish Malhotra, or maximum they go to is Sabyasachi. So please just Google, it's a click away, and know about your designers.
Great, Meha. Thank you so much. I guess that was all, and I'm very sure the webinar was pretty helpful to the interested candidates. In case there are any more questions, I request all of you to note down the toll-free number, which is right on the screen. It is 1-800-103-3005. Or you can also visit our website, which is www.pearlacademy.com. You can drop in a query, and our counselors will get back to you and will help you in regards to any questions that you may have. So thank you so much, Meha, and thank you so much to all the attendees out
Thank you,
here.
Varsha. Thank you. Okay.